You are listening to the Married Gamers Podcast with your hosts, Chris and Kelly. This week, we are joined by the show's Andrew Alliance and GameEnthus Aaron to talk about the recent Microsoft announcements ahead of next month's E3. All this and more on the Married Gamers Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Married Gamers. This is episode 333, recorded on May 16th, 2014. I am one half of the Married Gamers, Chris, aka Lefty Brown, and I'm joined by my very headachy other half. You have migraine this week right now. And Kelly, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm playing with Bilbo Baggins. This is Kelly, aka Mrs. Lefty Brown.
And joining us for this episode are two great hosts in their own right of two great shows that you need to go subscribe and listen to. We have from the show, Uriah, a.k.a. Andrew Alliance. Welcome.
What's going on, man? Thanks for the invite, man. I appreciate it.
It's been long waiting.
Yeah, I've long admired your show. You do a great show. I'm amazed by how engaging it is, and when you're a single host, you have guests on from time to time, but that's a hard thing to do. So congrats on that. But thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
And returning to the Married Gamers is the host of GameEnthus, Aaron, aka Indifference. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you for having me. I'm very glad to be here.
All right. So as we like to do each and every episode, we start with an opening question. And so the question this week is, what game tanked in sales, but you wish would someday somehow be given a sequel? And we're going to put our guests on the spot. So we're going to lead off with Uriah.
Wow. No. Because I don't have one. I got to think about it.
Lead off with Andrew, and he's going to say it really slow so that by the time we come around to your order, we'll know what you want.
Yeah. I'll be ready by the time you come back. No, I really haven't thought about that much. Maybe like a Spider-Man game or something, because I don't really play them. So, yeah.
Cool. What about you, Aaron?
Child of Eden.
Now that just came out, didn't it?
It was a couple of years old. It came out maybe a year and a half into the original Kinect's life.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got confused with Child of Light, which just came out.
That's all right. Yeah, it was a Kinect game. I think it was I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I think it was from the creator of Rez.
Yeah, you're right.
Dreamcast, and was ported everywhere. Very fun game, and I don't think anybody paid any attention to it. And Could you imagine that game on Oculus? I can imagine like falling out dizzy, yeah, but no. it would be fun. It would definitely be fun.
Kelly,
you're gonna hate me.
You better not be Boogie Bunnies. You're forbidden from saying Boogie Bunnies.
I hate that game. That's terrible. No offense.
No, but it's true. It's absolutely true.
So you want a sequel to Boogie Bunnies?
I do want a sequel to Boogie Bunnies, but it has to be. One. But it has to be a dance game.
No.
Well, EA made a game called Boogie, so maybe if you just added some more bunnies to it, that would suffice.
Maybe.
Okay.
So what about you, Honey Bunch?
Enslaved. It was sort of one of these things that came out and was forgotten about, but it was a really good story, a lot of good play elements, and I had a lot of fun, and I liked the sort of twist at the end. I was really excited about hopefully seeing more, but unfortunately,
that ending was weird. I was playing it, I'm just like, what in the what? I just put the controller down in awe, like, oh,
okay. All right, so the two games you mentioned, Enslaved and Child of Eden, right? I thought those two games did really well. I heard a lot about them, like during the times that they came out.
You probably heard it from other game enthusiasts,
Probably, you're right.
Commercially, no.
Yeah, okay. There was very little marketing outside of your games press. There was never any print ads or otherwise for it.
I showed you my tattoos of both of those games at PAX East, but that's just me. I'm crazy like that.
That's right. You are crazy like that, bro.
All right. So you can find the Married Gamers at our home at themarriedgamers.net, but we also have other places where we can be found, including Facebook. That's just /The Married Gamers, and Twitter at Married Gamers. And we want to let you guys know that in November, right?
October 25th.
October 25th is this year's Extra Life 2014. And we are in the midst of building our team. If you want to participate in Extra Life, be a hero, make a difference in the lives of sick kids, and help out your local Children's Miracle Network hospital, we want to invite you to join Team Married Gamers. To do that, you can go to bit.ly/Team TMG 2014. And that will take you to the Extra Life page, and you can sign up to be a participant, be on Team TMG. So once again, bit.ly/Team TMG 2014. Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Tell them about this delicious brew that we get. Like we are very lucky to drink.
Yes, we have a fantastic sponsor, Tioga Sequoia Brewery, which is our local brewery here in town. I have to get those words out of my mouth somehow or another. It is. And they are local here in town, and they do some fantastic brews. Their most recent brew that we love to death is their Rush Hour is finally making its way into the grocery stores here in Fresno.
And is now my favorite beer. It surpassed their Sugar Pine.
Oh, really? Yeah. And they're doing some really kind of unique things. They have now a beer garden here if you're local in Fresno that they're opening up every week. And you just really should try it if you're able to get some local. If you're in town, happen to pass through the Central Valley, head over to your local grocery stores and try out Tioga Sequoia, or head over to their website, tioga-sequoia.com, and check them out.
Yes. So now, Kelly.
Yes, sir.
It's your favorite time in the podcast.
Yeah. It's mailbag.
Yes, we got mail. So if you want to get in touch with the Married Gamers, if you have a question, a suggestion, a comment to make, you can do so by sending us an email at marriedgamers@outlook.com. And we do have a contest that was running for this latest batch. And we'll save the winner of the game Fighter Within for Xbox One. That will be our second email that we'll read, and we'll send out our congratulations to that person. But right now we have a question. So last week we discussed Nintendo's woes.
Yes.
And this week we received an email from Blue Man Rule, from the great podcast Prove Your Point, which is always a interesting podcast and a very nervous podcast to be on because it's a debate.
You have to prove your point?
Yes, exactly. A debate podcast. And he writes in, and I'll read this email. You can read the next one, Kelly?
Sounds good. Okay.
So he writes, "This is Blue Man Rule from Prove Your Point. Nintendo needs quite a few things to turn this thing around. 1, new personnel. Hire Western folks. It's clear that Nintendo is stagnant. Fresh minds and ideas will help them relate to today's adult who was yesteryear's kid. Western game developers / creators have different views on fun, GUIs, and multiplayer. Also, Nintendo's latest Tamagotchi snafu signals the problem with its lack of diversity in personnel. Mixed races, sexuality, education levels, and interests are all need to be represented. 2, sell the Wii U at a loss. Nintendo is one of the most cash-flushed companies on the planet. If anyone can afford loss leading on hardware, it's the Big N. Every other console in history has done it, but most have don't have the first-party lineup to recoup the losses that Nintendo has, this is a must. Number 3, a new IP. This recycling of IPs is perhaps the biggest problem Nintendo has. The last time they introduced a new IP was Kirby, right? Such a shame. And number 4, invest in proper R&D, research and development. I'm not sure who their focus groups are that indicate we want a vitality sensor, but they need to be replaced. Nintendo does not know how to communicate with adults, therefore resulting in them not knowing what adults want. They should research not only in the States, but worldwide. Nintendo is notorious for surveying Japanese gamers. While that is imperative to Nintendo's success at home, it is also the most international gaming company. They continue to omit the UK, North, and South America. I honestly never understood the gaming community's urge to get Nintendo back on top. Nintendo doesn't care as much about the gamers as they do about Nintendo. That's just my opinion.
You know, it's interesting that he mentions a couple of times there about the adult market.
Yes.
Because, and of course, this comes from the 8 hours a day of where I spend, which is in the educational field and in an elementary school. But you talk to the kids that I work with, and I would say the 3rd grade and below, they'll all talk about the Nintendo market range. Beyond 3rd grade, they're talking about the other consoles. They don't talk about much about the Nintendo market. So he's right. I mean, a Nintendo name, it's the little ones that know the Nintendo market, not much of the older kids.
Well, ultimately, you need something that appeals to both, but it's going to be the adults that buy.
Well, yeah,
the console.
And so it's interesting that he says that they need to appeal to the adult market. I would agree with him.
Yeah, you guys have any thoughts?
Yes, plenty. But Aaron, you can go first.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive, bro.
All right. He definitely makes some good points. As far as adults, I find that Nintendo gets to the adults in, I guess I would say more than 2, but just 2 major ways. Is one, you have adults who grew up on Nintendo who want to go back and reminisce and have stuck with it or just dabble from time to time. And then you have adults who grew up on Nintendo who have kids who they introduce their games to. So you have that gap. You have the real small kids who are playing it, and then, you know, it's not cool or hip. I don't know if the kids are saying that anymore, but, you know, to the teenagers, stuff like that, they're not thinking about Nintendo games. They don't care about that stuff, and they didn't grow up on it. So I don't know. It just seems like you either get them really young or people who are older who have kids who want their kids to play Nintendo games. So it's tough. Selling at a loss, they were initially, and I guess they aren't anymore. I definitely agree with his thing about personnel. Look what it did for Sony. Think about all the people that were involved when the PS3 came out, and we can all remember how well that went, at least in the first year or 2. And they had more Western people involved in the architecture, marketing, so on and so forth, and they're riding high. Nintendo might have to swallow some pride and do something very similar. He's absolutely right about that. In terms of the new IP, yeah, but Nintendo is very good at making money on stuff they've already made, so it's going to be tough. The problem is you don't know what you don't know, and they don't really want to figure out what they don't know. So until they let some of the supers go and, you know, do something that they haven't done before, they're going to get the results that they've been getting, which aren't very good.
Yeah, I want to just interrupt before Uriah on that new IP. You know, absolutely. He mentioned Kirby, but the last new IP I remember from Nintendo was Wii Music, and that landed with a thud even at the announcement.
Yeah.
Uriah,
yo,
lay some education on us.
Okay, so let's set this stage here, okay? Because I think my mindset is really changing when it comes to looking at games and playing games and understanding, you know, how companies are making decisions. So let's just say we're part owners of Nintendo and we go into this conference room and we're making decisions. One of the decisions that we will not make is gladly sell products at a loss. We're not going to do that because we're a business. So, and, you know, as a business, we want to make money. So if, as far as the IPs are concerned, if we're making money with the IPs that we have now, we're not going to introduce a new IP to spend millions of dollars to do that when our primary focus on the main IPs are working. Well, to us, it's working at least. So we're not going to spend money in that direction. So selling at a loss is not an option. Okay. Cutting back cost, to do other things to expose our products will do that. So that's why Nintendo is branching out and doing what they're doing at E3. And they feel that marketing is going to work for them. So they're trying that out. So, and I think the hiring Western folks, that sounds great. But if the Western folks that you're hiring or Western folks that you've hired in the past, they do not fit the culture of Nintendo, not necessarily that's a bad thing, but if they don't fit the culture, you may not even want that. Okay, so in terms of individuals who are familiar with the brand, grew up with the brand, love the brand for Nintendo, as far as introducing Western individuals to that culture, if they don't fit, it may not work. Maybe they tried this in the past and it didn't work, and maybe that's why they're not doing it now. So as far as investing in proper research and development and those things, as far as what we see right now with the hardware, some people really enjoy it. Some people don't. But Nintendo already knows who they're marketing to. Okay, they already know that. So it's either we like what they're giving or we don't. And Sony kind of took that stance, for a while before they started catering to everybody. Which is great. And you need to cater to as many people as you can and use that be everywhere strategy, which is great. But the be everywhere strategy doesn't work for everybody. Nintendo knows that it may not work for them, so they're not doing it.
One more thing, in talking about selling things at a loss, and I agree with you, right? They can continue to sell the Wii U without taking a hit there. But look at it the other way. Well, what else can they add value to your purchase? And I think of PlayStation Plus and Xbox's games with gold. Nintendo has so many rich older titles. Having them say, okay, you buy a Wii U, and you pay an annual subscription and you get, to play all these different games, whether, it's a couple games per month and stuff. Then all of a sudden you're looking at a console where you don't have to pick up every, you're not like desperate for the next title
right
to come out. You're not counting the days to Mario Kart 8 when you can go back and play, an older Mario Kart for free with a subscription. And then so instantly now this console has a different kind of value. It becomes, I would love to see a console say, you know what, hey, we're like Netflix, for you pay your subscription, and then we open up all these games that we already put out in the past, and it isn't costing us other than servers and stuff like that, and you get to play.
Well, there is the opportunity cost of someone not buying Mario Kart 8 versus playing Double Dash or Mario Kart 64.
That's the same thing with PlayStation Plus and games with gold too, though.
That is true. One thing Blue Man, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
I'll say one thing that Blue Man touched on was the whole, the vitality sensor. I don't know if they're still going on that road, but when they announced a couple of months ago that they're going to be focusing on some kind of personal health related products. And it's like, if we just saw Nike a couple of weeks ago completely get rid of their, I don't know, I forgot the name of the product, but their Fitbit kind of thing with the
Fuel Band.
They laid people off, moved them to different departments. This is Nike. This is what they do. So in 2 years, what will Nintendo discover that all these other companies have been doing this for I don't know how long don't already know?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. But thank you, Blue Man Rule. Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the who won the copy of Fighter Within.
Keith won. I don't know what his gamer tag is.
Yeah, I can't remember what his gamer tag is. But what does he write?
He writes, oh no, he must be a soccer fan. Must follow soccer like you do, honey, because he writes, with the World Cup fast approaching, do you find yourself playing or watching more soccer? Also, do you think there is any way for the U.S. team to get out of the dreaded group of death at this year's tournament? I normally watch a lot of games on TV, either the BPL or the MLS, and always try to keep a FIFA game I said that right?
Yes.
Around for when I need something to play. P.S. I hope with all the changes I made in my MLS fantasy lineup that it'll allow me to catch up to Chris sometime before the season is over. Don't worry, Keith. I'll change his lineup for you. Always look forward to each week's podcast and look forward to your E3 coverage. So,
okay, so
honey, what's your password so I can change your team? Just kidding.
What about you? Are you watching more soccer ahead of World Cup? You're at the bottom of our MLS fantasy league.
You know why? I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I forgot my password. I thought I knew my password.
Well, you're losing time because all these players are now in camp for the World Cup. So now, you were supposed to make all these substitutions for all these players left.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. So there's this problem. So I thought I knew my password, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can
They'll email you a password reset.
Hang on. So then I changed my password.
You can connect it to your Facebook.
Shut up. So then I changed my password, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I found out that like 2/3 of my team were non-existent.
Oh, they got traded or knocked down. Yeah, you need to trim that. Be on top of that.
Yeah. So.
It's like your NFL fantasy league all over again. How many weeks did you forget to put Kaepernick in?
Yeah, let's not go back to that.
As for me, I'm a soccer nut. Soccer, football to me has eclipsed the NFL in terms of my favorite sport. And so I am watching a lot of soccer. In fact, tomorrow I'll go down to the local pub that supports Arsenal, even though I'm not an Arsenal fan, to watch them play in the FA Cup final. And I'm also playing FIFA on the Xbox One, and really enjoying that because I'm playing as Liverpool, and I'm just kicking everyone's arses all up and down the spot.
Nice.
Yes, it's so nice. As for the U.S. team getting out of the group of death, ask me again if we manage to beat Ghana, which has always been our spoiler for the past few World Cups. I'll be a little more relieved. So we're doing our team. It looks like we're doing a diamond formation, which spreads open the field a little bit and helps some of our coverage against some of these big teams like Germany and on top of that, some of the key players are injured and not playing for some of these other countries' teams. So I am a big soccer supporter. Our U.S. men's national team supporter. I believe we can do it. But they really have to take things up a notch and play together and look out for one another and create opportunities for one another. So if they beat Ghana, I think that is an excellent sign that we can be a spoiler in the hardest group for this year's World Cup. Yeah. What?
Donovan's gone.
What? Okay, say we're doing a podcast now. Can you focus on the podcast?
But like my whole team is like dead.
All right, so thank you, Keith, so much for your email, and you were our random winner for the game Fighter Within, and I'm going to take a look to see what else we have, and for an upcoming podcast, we will give away a piece of swag again. So let me see what we have. We have, for the Xbox 360, Just Dance Greatest Hits. So once again, if you send in an email to marriedgamers@outlook.com, include your mailing address because you will be thrown into the random lot, and someone will be randomly selected to win a copy of Just Dance Greatest Hits for the Xbox 360. All right, so that is Mailbag. Let's move on to our Week in Geek. So we're talking about geeky things you've done this past week, whether it be gaming or TV, movies, comics, books, whatever. So we're going to lead off with Uriah.
Well, recently I acquired an SSD and I put that into my laptop, and I also took the hard drive out of my laptop and put it into the PS3 to bring it up to 500 gigs. Been checking out the Kingston headset, the Cloud headset that was recently released. So been having a lot of fun doing that. And I didn't realize that you were such a big soccer fan, Chris. I mean, I've been playing.
I didn't either.
Yeah, PS 2014. I've been playing that on the PlayStation 3. And
how is that? I've heard so much about it, but I haven't touched it. It's a PS. Well, I don't have my PS3 anymore.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I like it. I know FIFA's great, and I mean, I grew up with soccer, so what we call football, but I love it, man. I mean, even right now in the background, I'm just watching like the demo. It's a pretty game, man.
Nice.
Graphics are pretty awesome in it. So, I mean, I think that's it. That really catches up with the present day. I mean, no COD lately, no Titanfall lately because of school. This is finals week for me, so I'm wrapping up.
What about you, Aaron?
A lot of gaming. I just try to keep the site up to date with plenty of content, videos, and stuff. YouTube.com/GameEnthus. It's a shameless plug there.
I'm all for that.
Playing a lot of Bound by Flame with the PS4. I'm enjoying it. It's no Skyrim, but it doesn't pretend it is. It's pretty fun. A lot of the language and dialogue seems a little out of place, but it kind of gives it a little bit of charm. So I have some video for that up on the site and YouTube and all that good stuff. Playing Scram Kitty and his buddy on rails on the Wii U, which is like a platformer, but you're actually on a rail, but you can jump off the rail. It's a shooter sort of, but everything you do is on a rail. You travel on this like track all across the levels. You want to rescue these cats and you shoot these mice. It sounds really insane, but it's a lot of fun. And there aren't that many digital only Wii U exclusives, so it's definitely worthy of some attention because it kind of stands out. So I my Wii U's gonna get a lot more attention because of that. And then on the 30th, Mario Kart 8 comes out. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
I see you have it on your list as well. But Super Time Force, I'm playing on the Xbox One. That is a fun game. Once I got the hang of the mechanics, I was like, oh.
See, that's
that is multiplayer, right?
No. That would be very. I wish. I don't know how they would do that, but
okay.
See, for right now, it's just like $15 worth of frustration for me because I cannot wrap my mind around how to use the time element, and on top of that,
it takes a minute. It really does.
Yeah, I keep pressing the wrong button. So instead of activating the special powers, I then activate the time reverse again. It's just, it's frustrating. It's a great game, and I really admire the mechanics, but I can't get it.
Let me ask you this: how far are you? Because they give you kind of 3 short tutorial missions to kind of get you over the hump. How far have you gotten?
The last tutorial I failed, but it allows you to skip it. So I'm in the first mission and I barely made it through. This is something I'm gonna keep hacking away on because it's a delightful game and I love the humor in the game.
The writing is great.
And I just spent $15 on it, so I want to feel like I, tried and like I didn't waste the $15.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I guess my tip for you would be just don't babysit it, but you have to watch the clock because.
Yeah.
The game, even though, like, if you get to an end boss with, 5 seconds left, the game is somewhat forgiving. It'll let you rewind, recoup some of that time. The whole point is you want to, a couple of the bosses, if you find where their weak spot is, or you're going to shoot them anywhere, you want to just spend a bunch of time with one character just firing at them. Then rewind and do the same thing with somebody else. Rewind and just until you have, 8 people all shooting at the same time. And before their energy bar is going down, a fraction of a centimeter, you'll see it just plummet because you're all attacking at the same time. And one thing you have to do is you have to go back and try to rescue people because when you rescue them, you absorb their power as well. So you have to go back and say, I got shot. Let me make sure I go back and move quicker, to the right to kill the enemy that killed me when, I was playing 5 seconds ago. There's a lot of it's on the surface it looks like it's like a metal slug or a Contra. It's it's like those, but it's a lot more cerebral because you really have to think about who the best character is to pick for the job and make sure you have enough of whatever character, whatever combination to get it done. Because I think I've fought 3 or 4 bosses. It gets nuts. And it's not just like, how can I do this? But it'll work out. It's just stick with it.
Yeah.
They got your money, so stick with it. And I guess the last thing, I played a bunch of a game called Chronology on Steam. It has a familiar premise. You kind of swap. You're in the adventure of this time machine. It's been a Super Time Force, and you can kind of instantly swap between the past, before and after. It's just you hit a button, hit the red button, and you just swap. So you'll come across a bridge that's collapsed. You hit the button, the bridge comes back together. You can cross it. And as you keep playing, you'll meet a snail that you rescue. It's weird. And the snail has the ability to stop time. And it can also, it can also crawl along walls and things that you can't because you're a human. And you can kind of swap between the two of them and solve these environmental puzzles. It's pretty fun. My gripe about it is it kept crashing on me. And I was recording the gameplay to do a video of it, and it's frustrating to get to like the 7th level, and then it just crashed, so I have to do that whole thing again. But outside of the crashing, I wasn't enjoying it quite a bit.
Kelly.
Yes.
What's your week in geek?
It doesn't have to be geeky.
The title is The Week in Geek.
I'm the geek, so...
No, seriously, what have you been doing this week?
I started a new coding class.
Okay.
JavaScript 2 with JavaScript Angular.
Okay. I have no idea what that is.
Exactly. That's why it's fun for me to say it. I'm not exactly sure what we're all doing yet because it's brand new to me. Mm-hmm. So, it's like learning. But we're already started building a website. So that's cool. We just put in JSON, which is a new language for me. So, yeah, that's kind of fun. So there's that. I played some more Trials Fusion.
Yes.
Great game.
And
you like it? Are you what's your level of frustration?
I haven't broken a controller yet.
Well, that's good. Those things are expensive now.
Yeah. But I finally got 9 medals.
Okay, so you're still early in.
Yeah.
It gets harder.
Fuck you.
Oh, wait, I mean...
Oh, boy.
Fuck you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my sailor wife.
The show has just begun.
I don't know.
It's a hard game, and that's part of its appeal, is because it's hard. I like, every now and then there's that thrill of like when you make some sort of stunt and you stick it and you're like, yes. And then you get so angry when you then crash on some small little bump and you have to start over again.
That's what I don't like. Like, so, you're like going along, and then it's like crash. And you're like, but I wasn't doing anything. I didn't lean forward. I didn't lean backwards. I just was bump. And then like, bam.
Okay.
And that's really annoying. Like if I was like bump, lean, then okay. But
have you tried any ones created?
I can't get to those yet because I haven't gotten enough unlocks.
Oh,
wait a minute! I thought those were unlocked from the beginning.
Yeah. I think you have to.
But I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you have to. It's I forget what buttons you have to go to another section of the game.
Push buttons.
I'll show you later. Anything else?
Is that what our special night is for tonight? Is you'll show me later?
Strip Trials Fusion.
Do you want Andrew and I to go?
Yeah, we should go.
I'm just saying, if you want to keep the marriage, keep it healthy, I'm all for it. Just let me know.
What else, Kelly? What else?
And so, sorry, my head's really bugging me if you can't tell. So, like, seasons are wrapping up.
Yes.
And So I need our listeners' help.
Uh-oh. What do they need to email us at marriedgamers@outlook.com with?
Okay, so if you've listened to our show long enough, you know that I like
terrible TV shows.
Shut up.
Go on.
You know that I like cop shows,
yes,
and medical shows and firefighter shows.
You see that medical show that's set in San Antonio coming out soon?
On what channel?
NBC. Yes. Look it up sometime. Not right now. Not during the podcast.
No, there's one that's on. Is NBC the same channel that My Chicago Fire's on?
I believe so. Yes.
There's one that starts in 2 weeks.
That's probably the one.
Yeah, that's coming up. Yeah, I know that one.
Okay. That's wonderful. Anything else you need help with?
Just stop. Let me get my brain to function, okay? We'll
be here all night.
You love to fuck with me when I'm like this, so just hang on.
All right. Anything else, hon?
Yes, hang on. Let me get my brain to function for a second. So...
I just snorted on my... Go on.
So I need to know of anything on Netflix. I've already watched Rescue Me, the whole series. I'm watching Emily Owens, which is only one season. I need to know of other medical shows. I've already watched Emergency like 15 times. I don't need to rewatch that.
You should check out Hulu Plus as well.
Okay, on Hulu Plus. I've tried watching House before and have never really... Someone just just plugged in their phone. I have never really watched and never really gotten into House.
That's on Netflix now.
Yeah. Maybe I should give it another try.
You would probably enjoy
that. So if anybody can recommend anything for me, I would greatly appreciate that.
All right. Once again, marriedgamers@outlook.com. Or hit her up on...
ask you a question?
I'm always willing to answer questions.
Where does your affinity for medical shows come from? Is it just a genre? It's a genre of show you just always dug, or?
I spent a large amount of time since I was 1.5 years in the hospital.
Oh, okay.
And then when I was in high school, I had to volunteer a certain amount of hours doing something, and I ended up being a candy striper. And from that, spent 2 years volunteering in an emergency room of a hospital. And then I guess with Chris and I doing Extra Life, Chris has always said I'm one of the very few people he's ever known that medicine is a hobby of mine. So, yeah. So, honey, have you done anything geeky? No? Okay, let's continue.
Game wise, Super Time Force we just talked about. Hopefully that becomes Super Fun Force. Right now it's Super Frustrating Force. Titanfall. The new maps are out. I have yet to play them. What?
Have you lost your Titan yet?
Well, no, because I know where my Titan is at all times.
Do you keep it tethered to yourself?
No, I pay attention to the game.
Is Titan a euphemism, or like?
I don't know what's going on right now.
I don't know what's going on.
When she brought down her Titan,
I was inside a building.
She lost her Titan. She did not know where her Titan was. It was behind her the whole time, but she could not find it.
I lost my Titan.
Yeah, listeners thought that was faked. It's true.
They thought it was fake?
Yeah, you actually did lose.
I lost my Titan.
Yeah. So Titanfall. I look forward to this weekend finally playing the new maps. But I did play a little bit of Titanfall. And I've also played, with the Barclays Premier League wrapping up last weekend. My team, Liverpool, came in second. It was exciting. That last week of Barclays was very exciting. Disappointing. The Liverpool dropped a few matches that they honestly should have won. But anytime Manchester United doesn't make the Champions League, I'm happy. And so Liverpool, that's the team I'm playing on with FIFA, and I really enjoyed. I think I won. I played against Manchester City on FIFA 14, and I think I won like 6-0. on that game, so I was happy. Now, granted, I'm playing at the easiest setting. That's how I play most sports games. So it's like the 2-stick combination or 2-button. But it's fun. And after all, when I'm playing FIFA or MLB The Show, I'm there to just relax and have fun. So that's my fun setting. So, and I have played some MLB 14 The Show. TV wise, I've been watching TNT, man. They've really become a really serious contender for like the AMC next in line. Yes, you're raising your hand.
What does TNT stand for?
The Turner Network something.
Television.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
television. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I've been watching The Americans, which wraps up next week, and just a tremendously good show. I've talked about it many times on the Married Gamers. This season has been really, really good, and I love how things are wrapping up and the suspense of not only will these underground Russians be caught, but also how the family dynamic to it. So it's a good show. Also on TNT, Fargo, a television series based on the movie, and it actually works, and it has some actors that I enjoy seeing. So yeah, I'm fully on board with Fargo. And
sorry, Chris, could you just explain me? I saw the Fargo movie like eons ago. How does this show fit in with it? I honestly don't know.
It has like that sort of quirky elements that Fargo had, but it's a different cast.
Mm-hmm.
It still has a front and center woman character, our female character that plays a major role in the TV series, as just like Frances McDormand did in the movie. And to me, it sort of reminds me of Fargo meets Law and Order, in that you get the sense that so the whole season's sort of focused on one storyline, but you get the sense that after this season ends, that they could do a completely new characters. So they'll have a what's his name from Sherlock, shuffle off the stage, and the next season they'll bring in other characters, but it still has that quirky charm and danger to it, and then what's his name, Billy
Bob Thornton.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton just plays this really good character, and he plays it with a certain panache that really is scary in such a way, but you sometimes you can't help but laugh as well, which is perfect. It really does set the right tone for what a Fargo TV series would be.
Is there a wood chipper in it?
None yet. But there was a woman being bludgeoned with a hammer.
Close enough. Close enough.
So I guess that is my week in geek. Well, I should say Star Wars started filming today, and I'm very happy about that. And I've been reading some of the Star Wars books, which is now not in continuity. I think they call it Star Wars Legends now. So I'm reading the Kenobi book, and enjoying that. Sort of like a Western, Obi-Wan Kenobi set on Tatooine, and it becomes some sort of like desert Western. So I'm enjoying it. All right. So that's my Week in Geek. Let's jump into our topics. Our topic. As you know, Xbox has lost the console war. Sorry. Well, it depends on who you ask, but the PS4 is outselling the Xbox One by a very healthy margin, like 2-1 right now.
Yep.
Now, I do want to say both consoles are outselling their predecessors in the same time frame. So, PS4 is selling like hotcakes, all over the world, and the Xbox One is also selling very well in I think it's the 13 countries that it's in, which will expand in September. And I think the last thing we heard was they shipped 5 million or something like that, which is still 5 million. I mean, that's more than the Wii U. And that's been out for a little bit, like a year, almost, not quite a year and a half. So even though PS4 is trouncing Microsoft or Xbox, both are having very good success with selling their new console. With that in mind, new console sales is also about perception. And the perception is the PS4 is the game. If you play games, that's the console for you. And to Microsoft, like any smart company, says, well, if that's the argument, we need to engage in that. So they promised when Phil Spencer took ownership of Xbox, he said that their E3 was going to be about games. In fact, they sort of labeled it as the Xbox Game On. And so we've had, prior to E3, a bunch of announcements. So we heard a little bit about the television stuff that's coming later. We heard about the ET dig in Arizona, I believe.
Mexico. And
New Mexico. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And this week we got a couple of few big bombs. And we'll how do we want to? Should we take them one by one and dissect them? And is that the good way to go, guys?
Whatever you want.
However you want to do it.
All right. So let's.
As long as you agree with everything that I say, I'm good.
All right. So the huge announcement is, and this one actually really caught me by surprise, was Microsoft announced that starting June 9th. That they will offer a new SKU for the Xbox One. They will offer an Xbox One without the Kinect for $399. Same price as the PS4 if you're comparing things. Let's talk about that. Let me start because I got to get this off my, I got a ribbing this week by some of our listeners out there, because I've been on very, very adamant that Microsoft would never take the Kinect out with the Xbox One. It's so integral to the console. I know, like, getting around, doing things on the console, going Xbox record that, Xbox watch TV, being able to like dash around and do things while you're in the middle of playing. You're playing a game and you say Xbox broadcast, and boom, you're broadcasting on Twitch. That's made possible and made quick by the use of the Kinect. So I really did not see this coming, and I deserved the ribbing. They went there. They did the something that I did not think they would do. Now let's talk about if that's a good thing.
Okay.
What do you guys think about the news?
I would say initially, I don't think you really deserved a ribbing. I mean, everything, be it, for good or bad, that system, I mean, its differentiator was the Kinect. Talking to it to change channels and swap, change games and apps. So it seemed like a wish list to think that they would remove that from the box and then lower the price. So anybody who thought differently, I mean, you've only been told different all this time. I mean, for a product they put that much R&D into, to turn around and say, hey, it's no longer in the box. It's non-trivial. So who really would have seen? People are all on Twitter. Oh, I knew this was coming. No, you didn't. You wanted it to happen, but you didn't know it was coming. Who actually knew that? No one did. So I don't know. I feel like on one hand, removing it relegates the Kinect to peripheral status. Not like Super Scope 6 status, but it's no longer a priority. But then at the same time, was it ever? It was really a priority. When they talked about, we have $1 billion to invest in games. Why didn't they just say, hey, Double Fine, make Kinect Party 2. Here's, $10 million. Go. Why didn't they do that? I mean, yeah, my girls like Just Dance 2014. They played it for hours. I'm glad I own the Kinect too. I don't have an issue with it. But it's like, if it was really a priority, it would have been obvious. And I have Kinect Sports Rivals. I like the first Kinect Sports better than that. So it's like, if it was really a priority, it would have been a priority, and it wasn't. So the fact that it's not in the box, it almost doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they need to make the argument that is a important part to the experience, and they really haven't done it with the first Kinect. But this one is so much better. And to be fair, there's later this fall, there's still going to, you'll still be able to go out and buy a Kinect if you have any desire to do that. But now it has to work for both, people who don't want the Kinect and for people who use the Kinect.
Yeah, that might require a UI change, because it's
going to, absolutely.
I run a 50-foot HDMI cable in my house so I can play my PS4 and Xbox One in my home office and downstairs in the living room. And so I use the Xbox One without the Kinect a lot. And to me, the only drawback is being able to say Xbox record that. Outside of that, I can navigate it just fine. But people say it's so confusing, I don't understand. You can get to the settings from any tile on there. You hit the menu button and go down to settings.
Yeah.
And the settings are all in one place. So you can get to I don't understand this. I don't know. It's so confusing. No, you have.
Yeah, you just have to learn it. But the problem is it's going to take longer to do things.
It's not perfect, but it's really not that complicated. There's 3 basic pages. Your pins, home, and the store. I don't know where the confusion comes in, but that's just me.
Yeah. What about you, Uriah?
Yo. All right. So June 9th. That's a pretty awesome day for Microsoft. I'm excited for them. As far as the Kinect is concerned, I didn't have any issues or as many issues that I hear a lot of people are having. I mean, some of the commands do not work for me, but even with all the changes that Microsoft has been making, it's definitely good for them and their image. As far as giving options to the gamers and making E3 all about games, creating the buzz that they're creating leading up to E3, I think it's really fantastic. It doesn't affect me really in terms of the changes that they're making as far as taking Kinect out of the main bundle, because, I enjoy Kinect. I like using Skype with it and stuff like that. It is my microphone when I'm playing games and communicating with my friends and stuff like that. So I like having Kinect for those features. So I actually use it, every time I turn it on. So for me, as an individual who uses it on a regular basis, I'm not really, whether you have it in the box or not, in the box, it really doesn't matter. But the cool thing about it, I would think that people would want to do with it is the fact that, the Skype capability on it is really great. So I don't understand, why people are just outing it, so quickly. I mean, if you have a Skype account and, someone else who has Skype and you can video each other, I think that's powerful. I mean, some of the most powerful tools that we have today is relating to people and communication, but yet it seems like we're shunning it, in so many ways. So, I think it's great for them. Now, does it level the playing field? I mean, we can argue that, on the Sony side and on the PlayStation side, or argue that till we're blue in the face. But we have reasons why we're going to the Xbox, and we have reasons why we're going to the PlayStation platform, and it's always going to be that way.
Yeah. Now, Kelly, an Xbox One without the Kinect, do you think that will, in the same price as the PS4, do you think that will help the sales of Xbox One? Is it too little, too late?
I think it's going to help some people get on board with the Xbox One, but I think that there's going to be a lot of people who, when they buy the Xbox One without the Kinect, when I say this, we're going to end up with a lot of mail. So marriedgamers at outlook.com.
Uriah at no.
who are they're gonna get it, and they're going to feel that they're missing something. And when I say that, they're going to hear us when we talk about it, about the whole thing about when I say Xbox on, and I turn your Xbox on accident, or Xbox, wait, don't accidentally turn on our Xboxes by talking about this here right now, or Xbox turn off. The voice commands, it may sound gimmicky to some people, but when you don't have that, and people may say, what I don't have, I'm not gonna miss. You just push it on. There are so many times when I say it and there's an update, and so I say it and I go and I sit down on the couch, or I sit down in my chair, and then it doesn't work, and I'm like, now I gotta find my controller, or now I have to get up off the chair, and so it's an inconvenience of 30 seconds, but you miss it. And it's an inconvenience of 30 seconds that you go, man, I really miss having the ability to do this. Or the playing a video and I walk into your room and you're watching Survivor or something, and I don't want to see who is being kicked off Survivor, and I can say Xbox turn off or Xbox pause. Sorry. Before I walk in the room, and know that I'm not going to have something spoiled for me. And I know it's such a minuscule thing. It sounds minuscule, but there's little things like that. Or Xbox record that.
Upload studio. Yeah.
Upload video or whatever. Or broadcast. Little things like that being able to exercise with your Xbox, being able to play the Kinect games. You may not want to do that and you don't feel it's necessary, but these voice commands that are have become integral to the Xbox, the Xbox One. There went the Xbox. I just turned off on Lefty's Xbox.
It works, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. Anyways.
The thing that worries me is, if people say, "Oh, finally, same price, I'm saving $100," they view it as I'm saving $100 for the sacrifice of something that I'll probably not use, and then so the $399 SKU sells well, and you have a independent publisher developer like Harmonix, who's making this huge game for the Kinect called Fantasia Music Evolved. And then all of a sudden, instead of knowing that everyone who owns an Xbox One has a Kinect, now they don't know, if there's a huge market, that will pick up the game because they know that they have everything they need for it.
Hey, Chris, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Do you know what Xbox did with this whole $399 and all this stuff? You know what they did? What they did essentially is piggyback marketing, because what they did is they took something that worked really well for Sony and they used it to their advantage to bring people back, because the marketing that they did at E3 last year was so bad. It was awful. All right, so they piggybacked off something that worked, because everyone on Twitter or wherever you looked, and I'm sure they have individuals checking the Twitters talking about their product and stuff like that. They saw $399. They kept seeing that over and over again. And if someone paid attention to that and got it back to the individuals who are in charge of making the image great for the company, they decided to use that same marketing, and it's working because everyone's excited. And I hear a lot of individuals saying that, now that it's $399, I can get it, and I don't have to worry about getting a Kinect right away. When I'm ready to get the Kinect, then I can get it.
Right. I'm really worried about Harmonix. If Fantasia doesn't sell well, I mean, right now they have one more week in their Kickstarter for Amplitude.
I think it's dead.
Yeah, oh. Yeah, I know. They just crossed 300,000, and they have 6 more days to go.
What's their goal?
700. Yeah, 750.
Okay.
And so it's who knows what last minute bidding or last minute donations do. But that said, the other known game they have in the channel is Krona, which is going to be a free to play PC game. And I just have this feeling, eventually they're going to have another Dance Central. I just have this feeling that if not having this big install base with the Kinect now, that it's going to hurt sales of Fantasia, and Harmonix needs a big hit, and that's my worry. For a fantastic company like them, honestly, I don't want them to become like Microsoft, a Microsoft company. Although I love Microsoft, but I love what Harmonix was doing in their independence.
Well, I don't think there's any fear of that. I mean, it'd probably be successful, but if you look at Amplitude, because Sony owns the rights, it's only going to be on Sony platforms.
Yeah.
If I got to say one more thing about the Kinect, the whole thing, it's an interesting trade-off, because they're gambling that the amount of buzz and positivity that will come from people who would have bought it but didn't want Kinect, or would have bought it because $500 is too much money, or a combination of the two, outweighs the number of people who would have just written it off entirely. It's sort of a Hail Mary, and it's kind of early for a Hail Mary.
Well, what it does is it sets up the arguments of, at the end of the day, it's about games, because now you have a SKU that's the same price as the competition, and now it's who has the better games that you want to play. And that's what's going to be really interesting about this year's E3, because there's such a high level of expectation and a high level of excitement this time for Microsoft,
right,
and what they're going to announce, that it'll be interesting to see how that's countered this year by Sony, which has had a tremendous year since their last E3. So it's really going to be a very interesting E3. And because now the argument isn't who owns the living room, the argument is who has the best games.
So, Chris, why did you sell your PS3? I'm curious.
Because I have a PS4.
Okay.
And a lot of the games that that I enjoy, I'll be able to play on the on PlayStation Now, or if it gets upgraded like The Last of Us, I'll be able to play on a PS4 version of it.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the only reason. Otherwise, I would have kept it. But yeah, so other news that Xbox made just this week. Finally, I've been screaming for years about this. People who've listened to the Married Gamers know how much this has been an issue with me and Microsoft. The entertainment apps on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One will be in June free. You no longer have to have Xbox Live Gold to be able to launch the Netflix app and watch movies if you're a Netflix subscriber. Same goes for Hulu, MLB, just about every, Twitch, every entertainment app. It makes sense. It made sense years and years ago when you could turn on your PC and watch Netflix, or, turn on your Windows PC and watch Netflix, but you couldn't turn on your Xbox 360 and watch Netflix. And, when everyone else and their mother had free access to it on other consoles or on their iPads or smartphones or 3DSs and stuff like that, but the 360 required an extra ticket to get in. So finally, they've seen the error of their ways and the entertainment. Do you guys have any comments on this?
About time. I don't know what took them so long. The fact that they had the audacity to do this for this amount of time is just baffling to me.
My guess on why they did it was those apps were designed for the 360 and they bring added value, and anything with added value deserves to be behind
a paywall.
Gold.
Yeah, but
that was their reasoning. I know it makes no sense.
It did before people had like 90 things in their homes. My 3DS downloaded Hulu and YouTube, and maybe even Netflix for me. I didn't have to pay them anything. It's just like how they continue to do it this long after everybody else said, "Hey, no paywall." I have a wooden spoon in my kitchen that has Netflix on it. A wooden spoon.
No, but here's the thing the reason why it made no sense is I didn't buy Xbox Live Gold to be able to access those apps, which should have been free in the first place. I buy Xbox Live Gold because I like talking to people and I like playing multiplayer. And the Xbox Live gave me, especially on the 360, gave me the superior way to play multiplayer games.
Okay, see, I
Hands down.
wonder if what you just said alone made them a lot of money because it was behind a paywall.
Most like, well, all the entertainment. I don't know. They were selling a lot of Xbox 360s in the past year and a half, and I imagine a lot of it went to watch Netflix and stuff. It became the entertainment. They even put out stats, a while back saying that there's actually more people watching entertainment on the Xbox 360 than playing games.
Okay.
So yeah.
Those jerks.
It's an entertainment console. I mean, come on. I have no faults with people. I mean,
people either do what I would do, or they can go home.
Yeah, I'm actually guilty of that because I'm always watching watch ESPN on it and stuff like that. I barely play games on it now.
I watch so much YouTube. My console is not even funny.
Yeah, every day I have to watch my some new cat video.
Well, yeah, you have to. Choice, yeah. Your hands are tied.
All right. So, Kelly, any word on that?
Nope, you guys got it all.
All right. So, they also announced a change in games with Gold. So if you're an Xbox Live Gold subscriber, you get free games starting in June. That also includes the Xbox One. So there's a slight difference between the Xbox 360 games with Gold and the Xbox One games with Gold. Those free games on the 360, when you download them, they are yours to keep still. However, on the Xbox One, those free games you can continue to play as long as you're an Xbox Live Gold subscriber. So in a sense, on the Xbox One, it's virtually the same way that they're doing over at their competition at Sony with PlayStation Plus.
That's correct.
So again, it's equal playing field, and it's all about games. Now they've said that doing it this way on the Xbox One will make it easier to bring more current games. So we'll see. The proof is in the pudding. We'll see if that does happen. Now, the first two games, one's the Halo Spartan something or other, and the other Spartan Assault, and the other one is Max Curse of Kelly. You know this one, Max
Curse of Brotherhood.
Curse of Brotherhood.
Yeah,
that's a great game.
Yeah. They were both what we used to call on 360 Xbox Live Arcade games. But you'll be able to play two really good games. And then in June, 360 owners will get 3 games. Now the thing that intrigued me about these games was not necessarily because they're all too recent, because they have a little bit of cobwebs on them, but they're 3 games that really play to the hardcore.
Yeah, they do.
Gamers. You got Dark Souls, you got Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, which coincidentally, the month that it comes out, you can buy a new upgrade to, what's that upgrade? Fighter 4
Ultra Super Street Fighter 4, yeah.
So that's a pretty good deal there. You can jump right into the latest version, when that becomes available. And then the third game is escaping me right now.
Charlie Murder.
Excellent game.
It is fun. Did you mention Street Fighter already? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's nice that they're doing it because Ultra, you can download the Ultra update for $15, I think, beginning of the month. So it makes sense.
Yeah. So some really good choices there with that slight change for games with Gold. But we'll see, again, like I said, it becomes, hey, we have a similar things as the folks at Sony does. What games do they have to offer, and what games we have to offer? And then, speaking of games, just today,
yes,
okay, let me set this up. Let me set this up here. Okay, we know that E3 is going to, for Microsoft, is going to be about games. We're going to throw so many games. You're going to see so many exciting things, that we just don't have time to talk about all this other stuff, an Xbox One without Kinect stuff. So we're going to tell you all that sort of stuff we don't have time for. And by the way, the franchise that made the Xbox, the franchise that made us one of the best consoles on the planet, we don't even have time to really go into that at E3 because we have so much to show you. Yeah, this little game called Halo 5.
Yes.
Guardians, coming out fall 2015. We don't even have time to really say much at E3 because we have so much good stuff that this huge franchise, we're going to tell you a month out all, what we can tell you about it. They can, what should have happened was Phil Spencer walk out and say, and just literally in front of an Xbox One said, Xbox, drop the mic.
Yes.
Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Yes. I'm just excited. All right, go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, I was surprised that they announced this. But then again, they've been doing so much ahead of time. I guess I shouldn't be. The thought did occur that are they gonna have that much? Like, they must have some crazy stuff for E3 because they're letting us know so much up front. It's like it better be crazy. Like my socks should literally be knocked off.
Well, there is strong indications that there will still have Master Chief in our lives for Christmas this year. I've heard about Halo. Oh, what are they? The Master Chiefs something or other.
At first, it was Halo 2, a remake of Halo 2 using the Halo 4 engine, but obviously prettier. Now the rumor is it's Halo 1 through 4. I don't think they're gonna give us Halo 1 through 4 on the disc.
It's not going to include ODST, and it's not going to include the other
Reach.
game as well. Reach. So it's just going to be the ones that feature Master Chief in it.
Although ODST ironically did have like a better campaign than like the lot of them to me.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But for me, it's like, okay, I get to play these games that I liked in the past now on the Xbox One. I'm in. But knowing that in fall of 2015, I'm going to get a brand new game, Halo 5, that they've said will run 60 frames per second.
Yes.
It will be exciting. We already know there will be some new characters. Hopefully they'll get back their swagger that they seem to have lost a little bit with Halo 4. So
what was wrong with Halo 4? I don't understand what all the controversy was.
I just think
the fixes got there too late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
did that whole season thing work out well? The Spartan Ops, did that do well, or did they?
I think some people really got into it, but for folks like me, that requires having regular buddies to play like each and every week.
That's not going to happen.
Spartan Ops was really nice, though. It was definitely nice. It's just that the updates and the weapon fixes to balance them out the way they were supposed to be got there too late. I mean, at one point, I was logging in. It was only like 40,000 people playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that article about the drop was just unprecedented for that series.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, I know you're a big fan of the Halo series.
You mean the barfing series?
Barfing?
Oh, it's the spatial, that first person, unlike other first person shooters, the spatial elements of that really plays havoc with her.
Like Vertigo.
Vertigo, yeah.
Well, stay away. Be safe.
But again, they dropped this huge news about a game, and again, and folks, they're trying to say, we got games that you can only play or that are best on the Xbox, and they lead off with, boom, Halo 5.
Okay, I can't contain myself. Are we going to talk about the picture? I got speculations.
What picture?
The actual picture, the Halo 5 Guardians picture.
The Guardians thing? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so for folks listening out there, the picture shows a character, there is like a desert setting, and there's a character, and then almost a mirror image of the character, almost like Mirage, of Master Chief.
Right.
Now, so that's the setting. Go ahead and tell us.
Okay, so Master Chief is on the bottom. Okay, and then the other character is on the top. Now, the speculation, for those who played and finished Halo 4, when I don't want to spoil it. Would it still be considered spoiler at this point?
No, not 4.
Yeah, it's over a year old.
Yeah, so 4 ended, and then Cortana, was protecting Chief, and she wanted a body. She always wanted a body, right? And at the end of it, that whole thing happened, and he was like, no, all this stuff, and they were having that conversation at the end. And I find it very interesting that the character on the top, their visor is very, very, very blue, and the blue is like coming out. You know what I mean? And, the assumption or the speculation, is that maybe Cortana finally got her body and that's her. And then Chief is on the bottom and she's on the top.
Yeah. Now, one of the producers on the series on Twitter sort of came out and said, no, that's a new character.
Okay, so it's so no more speculation.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. Sometimes they don't always tell the truth. Case in point, what's his name lying about
David Jaffe, Twisted Metal.
Yeah, David Jaffe about Twisted Metal. But that being said, I hope. Well, and the developer even said that referred to that character as a he, even though it has a very feminine shape.
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll see. I'm
fine. As long as I don't have to fight the Covenant for like another 8 hours, I'm good. I'm so tired of the Covenant. I just couldn't take it anymore.
The Flood. I couldn't stand the Flood.
At least it wasn't the Covenant. It's the same enemies for like 15 years. Yeah. Just give me something else. I mean, what was the name of the other people you fought?
Oh,
the Proteans or something, whatever they were. Prometheans.
Prometheans. Do you remember which Twitter handle that was for the individual that mentioned the detail on that?
Oh gosh. Oh man, his name is Jonathan.
Okay.
Why he's making house calls? Tell me more.
I need to know. No, I was just curious, so that way I can make a note of that when I talk about it in the future. But that's awesome though.
So that was Xbox getting people fired up for their E3. And hey, look, I've said again and again, I own a PS4 and I own an Xbox One. And both are great machines. And and I stand by my words is if people trying to decide what machine to go with, I'd really, I trend more to the Xbox. Absolutely. I'm no bones about that. But for someone else making that decision, again, go with where your friends are at. Because if you're playing, you want to play with your friends.
If you like indie games, go with PS4. At least right now.
Yeah. Although, Idea Xbox, PAX East, we saw a lot of great games through the Idea Xbox.
They got a late start, but they're working. They're working.
Yeah. So E3 is going to be outstanding. I cannot wait to see what Sony brings to the table. Honestly, and this is my personal opinion, I feel that the games I can only play at Xbox are more exciting than the games I can only play at PlayStation or at Sony, with an exception. Infamous already came out, and Infamous Second Son is fantastic.
Were you a fan of the other Infamous games?
Yes.
Okay.
That's that is my favorite franchise that Sony does.
Wow. Okay. I was never. I own the other ones, even the digital one. No, I never got to the end of them. I played more of the first one than any of the others. Mm-hmm. I just found myself not motivated to keep playing. I was just like, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I definitely understand that because there's a lot of the rinse repeat type missions. But yeah.
Yeah.
We'll close by what do you think Sony's going to do? Because they're a smart company. They really made the argument last year, and they really, a lot of people agreed, if there was a winner and loser, at these things, that Sony put forth the better argument that they're the console to go with. Now, Xbox is finally getting their crap together and making their argument. So what do you think Sony's going to bring?
I mean, it's an interesting position because Xbox's position now is, hey, how long have you guys been at this party? That's what they're going in as, and Sony is like, well, we've been here for a while, man. You just walked in, kind of thing. So, building up on that, even if Sony rode the wave of what they've done, I think it's going to be awesome. But I definitely want to see more Gaikai stuff. I want to see what they're going to do with the cloud and even the new VR Project Morpheus thing that they have. That's correct, right? Project Morpheus?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I definitely want to see a little bit more on that for Sony. For Microsoft, I'm looking forward to seeing the games. I mean, maybe it's wishful thinking. A new Contra would be great. I know River City Ransom is being made on the PC only. It'd be great if that company actually does it for either the PS4 or the Xbox One. That'd be fantastic. I mean, some of the games that have been awesome just growing up, it'd be nice to see them, on the indie platform. That'd be awesome. So that's it.
Cool. Any last words, Kelly?
No.
Okay. All right. So, Kelly, it's that time. Take us out.
First of all, we want to thank both Andrew and Aaron for taking time out of their Friday evening to
no, thank you.
Be on our show.
Thank you.
Now, I love having guests on the show that I'm a fan of, because I want to get our listeners to also be fans of. So please, gentlemen, take some time to plug where you can be found, where you can be heard, and anything that our listeners need to know in order to be where you are. So why don't we lead off with Uriah?
Sure. You can find me at theshowradio.info, and I pretty much have all my information there. Also, my Twitter is Uriah, which is spelled Uriyya. And to some, I'm in Acquired Taste, and hope to, have you guys, listen in and, see if you like the show. And if not, that's great. But Chris, Kelly, thank you for inviting me. It's an honor, really, because I love you guys. I've been listening for a while. So I definitely appreciate you bringing me on to say what's up and hanging out with you guys. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely. And anytime you want on, just let us know. And of course, Aaron, aka Indifference.
Yeah, once again, just thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to podcast with folks. I could be found at GameEnthus.com. The podcast can be found iTunes, Xbox. It's everywhere. If you go to GameEnthus.com, you'll definitely find it. You can watch a lot of the YouTube videos. I think I have 405 YouTube videos up. So I do quite a few videos. So you can go to the site, or you can go to youtube.com/GameEnthus. We're very, unlike Uriah, we're not brave enough to just go at it alone. So we rely heavily on guests. we love guests. We'd love to have you and Kelly on soon. Uriah's been on a number of times, absolutely. And we didn't beat him up too badly. So hopefully he would vouch for us.
Yes, you guys are great.
I'm just laid back. On Twitter, I'm Indifference. The second I is a 1. The name is ironic because I'm actually a really nice guy, and secret is I care too much. So it's kind of ironic. So, yeah, that's me.
All right, Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Where can we be found?
We can be found on the internets just about anywhere. You can find us at our website at www.themarriedgamers.net, on Facebook at facebook.com/themarriedgamers. You can follow us on Twitter at Married Gamers. Follow Lefty at Lefty Brown, or myself at Mrs. Lefty Brown. I almost forgot where you could follow me at. That is really bad. You can also send us...
and I know our Google Plus now.
Oh, what is it?
It's google.com/ what's that? The plus sign, The Married Gamers Net.
Oh, congratulations. Sorry. Also, you can send us mail at marriedgamers@outlook.com so that I can sing our song. We have a Lipson TMG app. It's $1.99 on most smartphones and tablets. Boy, I really sound like crap.
You are out of it. You need to lie down and hopefully kick out this migraine.
Yeah, but I have to make dinner still.
That is true. All right. So thank you so much for listening to us. This has been episode 333. That's like half of the number of the beast. So
can we skip episode 666?
I'm not too number centric, about that. I'm a religious person, but the numbers don't.
Can we have episode 666 and a half?
Okay, that's 333. We're halfway there. Let's see if we even get there first.
Don't doom us
yet. Then we'll have that debate.
Don't doom us yet.
There's still plenty of time for us to become the divorce gamers. That everyone keeps saying.
Can
we think positively?
Exactly.
Can we have Aaron and Andrew on that episode too?
I'm down.
Why not?
Just call it 666 and a third. Doing like Naked Gun style.
Right. That's right.
Go.
The smell of fear.
I'll be your wingman on that episode, honey.
All right. So thanks, folks, for listening to us. We'll talk to you guys real soon.